Right, exponential culture. I love this concept, I love the idea, and I love what it can potentially do to transform organizations. When we talk about exponential, we automatically default to technology, and certainly the more exponential types of technology you have in the organization, like AI or quantum computing or whatever the different technologies that are available to you are, that you're actually using, cloud computing, whatever it is, doesn't matter. There are other elements that are just as important. Because if you're going to build an exponential business, if you're going to scale this business, there are three components that I believe that make up an exponential culture. Let me take you through each of them. The first is the structural code. It's how do you actually structure your business to scale? Now, if you look at the traditional hierarchical framework, it's very, very fixed. There's no innovation, there's no flexibility, it's defined by bureaucracy and politics. You can't scale in an organization like that. And I'm a firm believer in the idea that your environment defines the way that you behave. And you've got to manage the environment to define how you actually manage behavior within the organization. And your business structure correlates to this point of view. In our business at TerraFlow, we do this through a network of teams approach. And we will not ever have this fixed hierarchical framework. We get rid of the middle management layer. We empower the teams to make decisions. We decentralize our decision-making capability. That is what structural code is. It allows you to scale. The second code is the relationship code. You can only scale if you can actually get on with each other. Can you imagine trying to scale in a political environment where we're all playing politics and trying to control how things are happening? And for me, a big driver of politics is position, obviously, and that comes through that structured hierarchy. But more importantly, it's the information, the access to information, and how we communicate that information. Because if I'm close to the center where the big decisions are being made, the impactful decisions, it defines my level of power within the organization. And relationships are built through communication. And we've got to understand how to communicate with each other. And this is why in any business that is scaling at speed, clear, transparent communication is so, so vital and important. And it really does come down to the relationship code. And we certainly look at this very, very deeply when we look at who we're employing, how we're employing, how do we communicate with our teams, and how do we make sure that we're aligned. And we look at the feedback loops and ultimately the health of how our squads work. And the last one is the mental code. These are the silent agreements that we have, the agreements that define how we behave together. And when we start looking at the dissonance of the agreements, these are the smoke fires or the smoke signals that actually tell us that something's wrong within the organization. And you've got to watch for the smoke signals to actually start understanding where things are starting to break down. And it really is the subtle part of it. It's the culture, the principles, the mission, the why. Why are you all working together? What is bringing us together? And it's the silent mental agreements that we agree to without really having to verbalize those agreements. So those three components actually, for me, define what I like to call an exponential culture, because exponential is just not about technology. It's about people doing what needs to be done to leverage the technology that allows your business to scale and ultimately solve the problems that people are looking to have solved within their lives. So these are the three codes behind the exponential culture. And how did I come up with these? Which was really the question that I was asked. It really comes down to looking at how we're building TerraFlow and what is really, really important within the context of building an exponential culture. And it was a simple self-reflection process of understanding what was happening in the business and how we took these and translated these into value. But they all work together, and it's where the synergy and the harmony comes into the business. So that's how I came up with the three principal codes behind an exponential culture, which I actually refer to as the Teracode, because we're TerraFlow. So that's it. Thanks, guys.